I want to talk about the most basic fundamentals of witnessing. And we're going to start by reading the story of Jesus with the woman at the well. John chapter 4, beginning in verse 7. A woman of Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." For his disciples had gone away into the city to buy food. Then the woman of Samaria said to him, "How is it that you, being a Jew, ask a drink from me, a Samaritan woman? For Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans." Jesus answered and said to her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is who says to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." The woman said to him, "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where then do you get this living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us this well, and drank from it himself, as well as his sons and his livestock?" Jesus answered and said to her, "Whoever drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. But the water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life." The woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water, that I may not thirst nor come here to draw." Jesus said to her, "Go call your husband and come here." The woman answered and said, "I have no husband." Jesus said to her, "You have well said, 'I have no husband,' for you have had 5 husbands, and the one whom you have now is not your husband, and that you spoke truly." The woman said to her, "Sir, I perceive that you are a prophet. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, and the Jews say that in Jerusalem is the place where one ought to worship." Jesus said to her, "Woman, believe me, the hour is coming when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father is seeking such to worship him. God is a spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and truth." The woman said to him, "I know that Messiah is coming, who is called Christ. When he comes, he will tell us all things." Jesus said to her, "I who speak to you am he." So from this story, we take what evangelist Ray Comfort calls the RCCR method: relate, create, convict, and reveal. So we begin with relate. This is when you go up to a person and start a conversation with them. With Jesus, he talked about natural water and transitioned into spiritual water. So this could be when you might be sitting on a bench with someone next to you that has a little dog. You might start a conversation about their dog, something they can relate with. The second thing is you create a conversation that will draw you into something spiritual. So again, Jesus takes the natural water where he related, and now he talks about spiritual water. He's created a conversation with something spiritual. The third thing is convict. Jesus then convicted her of her sin from one of the 10 commandments, which was, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." She was convicted of her sin. And the reason why we must always bring up the law is because without a knowledge of sin, there can be no repentance. And without repentance, there cannot be true conversion. David said in the Psalms, "The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul." Paul the Apostle said in the New Testament that he had not known sin but by the law. The law was used by great evangelists from Martin Luther to the Wesleys, Whitefield, Spurgeon, and many others. But at about the turn of the 20th century, people began to stop using the law in their preaching. And as a result, there has been many false conversions since. We must always use Christ's example in using the law. And he didn't just use it here, he also used it with the rich young ruler. When he talked about him giving up his wealth, he knew that the rich young ruler coveted his wealth, breaking one of the 10 commandments. So that was convict. Once someone has been convicted of sin, then we can go on to the fourth step where Jesus revealed himself to her. That's reveal. We can reveal Christ and the message of his love and of redemption.